A day that began with Clinton blasting Trump ended with demonstrators attacking his supporters. It happened after a Trump event in San Jose. Protesters punched rally-goers, kicked their cars, and burned Trump's signature baseball caps.
Trump supporters leaving the San Jose Convention Center were surrounded, taunted, and attacked by anti-Trump protesters, many carrying Mexican flags.
And these were not clashes, these were pure attacks. Trump supporters, men, women, even the elderly, left this building last night and walked right into danger.
This lone female Trump supporter tried to stand her ground. Her sign torn from her hands, her glasses ripped off, then shoved in her face.
One young woman tried to take them on, proudly showing off her Trump shirt.
She's egging them on.
Then it turns scary. She's hit in the face with watermelon and raw eggs.
Oh my God.
She finds herself all alone and cornered. The crowd screaming obscenities, and no one came to her aid, not even the cops.
At times, it seemed like the police had no control of the situation. People were getting beat up right in front of them.
Support for Tony, who's become a fixture at political rallies, no matter how emotional, always protecting freedom of speech that, in turn, did not protect him.
If you're on the other side, it doesn't mean you stab someone 9 times. It doesn't mean you try to censor someone's free speech. That's wrong.
You're awake, by the way. You're not having a terrible, terrible dream. Also, you're not dead and you haven't gone to hell. This is your life now. This is our election now. This is us. This is our country.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
I do not believe this is happening. I'm literally about to fucking kill myself, and I'm not kidding. You better fucking fix this shit right now. I literally am gonna die. I need an ambulance.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A sitting president of the United States trying to ruin my life forever.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
It's an actor dressed to look just like President Donald Trump as he's assassinated on stage.
But we truly hope that this show has inspired you to uphold our American values and to work on behalf of all of us. All of us.
Protesters clash in Berkeley, California, as anti-Trump protesters showed up for a scheduled pro-Trump Patriot Day rally.
Stop doing violence upon other people. Stop doing violence upon neighborhoods. It doesn't
hate crimes and I'm sorry, Kate. Hate crimes and protesting are not the same thing.
4 teenagers charged with hate crimes for allegedly beating a mentally challenged young man in Chicago and streaming it all live for the world to see on Facebook.
That's what this is. It's evil. It's brutality. It's man's inhumanity to man. And
I don't think it's evil. I don't think it's evil. I think these are young people, and I think they have bad home training. Simone, you think I'm being too hard on these kids?
I am very hesitant to cast these young people as folks who come from broken homes. For all we know, they have a mother and a father who work very good, hardworking jobs, who have instilled or tried to instill good moral values in them, and the young people just aren't listening.
Oh, my brother!
Right here, he represents Trump. It's PPG hothead. Hey, this PPG hothead.
A hate crime is a crime that is committed against somebody because of their religion, because of what they look like, because of their sexual orientation.
The victim in this particular case was targeted because he has a mental health challenge.
We don't know if it's a hate crime.
Okay.
That is very
Peter, you're not usually this quiet.
What do you say to the people who dragged a poor white guy out of a car and beat him?
Oh my goodness, poor white people, please, stop it, Carl.
I know that this is a time of great fear and uncertainty saw what so many done and came together and supported those ideas who have made the difference. They've marched, they've bled. Yes, some of them have died. This is hard. Every good thing is. We have done this before, we can do this again.
An individual walked up and asked, hey, you know, there's Republicans or Democrats. Jeff said they're Republicans. The guy kind of turned around and started walking towards the field.
The 6 people injured include Congressman Scalise, Capitol Hill police officers David Bailey and Crystal Griner, Matt Micah, a lobbyist for Tyson's Foods, Zachary Barth, a congressional staffer, and Representative Williams.
It's time to ask whether the attack on the United States Congress yesterday was foreseeable, predictable, and to some degree self-inflicted.
Steve Scalise has a history that we've all been forced to sort of ignore. Because he is in jeopardy and everyone is pulling for him, are we required in a moral sense to put that aside at the moment?
Jesse Benn, a writer for the liberal Huffington Post, seemed almost to condone the violence, tweeting, "What's more harmful, putting millions already on the margins more at risk via draconian policies, or shooting a racist lawmaker in the hip?"
Let me just say, one mother to another, do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless cunt.
Trump was furious. He said, I am the only one who gets to talk dirty about my daughter.
Put on something tight and low cut and tell your father to fucking stop it.
I'm going to say one thing. Fuck Trump.
I am here today not because I want to be. I am terrified. I am here because I believe it is my civic duty to tell you what happened to me while Brett Kavanaugh and I were in high school.
Dr. Ford came in and she poured out her heart. She cooperated with the process. She gave the process dignity and respect.
It's been reported by the press that you would not submit to an interview with the committee because of your fear of flying. Is that true?
Well, I was hoping that they would come to me.
The least we could do is give her the dignity and respect of having a process that has credibility.
May I ask, Dr. Ford, how did you get to Washington?
In an airplane.
Okay.
This is about the closest I'll probably ever have in my life to an I am Spartacus moment.
In fact, you fly fairly frequently for your hobbies and you've had to fly for your work. Is that true?
Correct, unfortunately.
These are live images, folks, at the doors of the Supreme Court, where you can see protesters have gathered. They are demanding that their voices be heard.
You list the following interests of surf travel, and you, in parentheses, put Hawaii, Costa Rica, South Pacific Islands, and French Polynesia. Have you been all to those places?
Correct.
By airplane?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Easier for me to travel going that direction when it's a vacation.
I want to thank you for your courage, and I want to tell you I believe you. I believe you.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
The video showed classmates shoving the 12-year-old St. Louis boy while yelling at him for supporting the president. His outraged mother says she is horrified.
We believe survivors. We believe survivors. Beto is way hotter than you do. We believe survivors. We believe survivors. We believe survivors. I'm a 16-year-old and I can't have this baby. Think you should keep it?
It's a baby. If someone was raped and she gave birth and she decided to kill her 3-year-old child.
I meant to get your phone. Meant to get your phone.
A disturbing viral video shows a mob of teens in Make America Great Again hats harassing a Native American elder in Washington.
I don't blame the kid, the smirking kid. I blame lead poisoning. And bad parenting, and oh yeah, I blame that fucking kid.
I don't know who consented to those hats as a school event. There are issues of behavior for the parents and the school, period.
What a little prick. Smirk face.
The MAGA hat carries a certain connotation that provokes a conditioned reaction from many people.
But this Make America Great Again hat is just as maddening and frustrating and triggering for me to look at as a KKK hood.
I think if the kids don't have the hats on their heads, you have a very different situation in terms of how it's perceived.
Really, I mean, I don't spend a lot of time, I must tell you, around Catholic school children. But I do not get what Catholic priests see in these kids.
And I'm okay tolerating all of that and the early reporting that was wrong, because you can correct it, and that's fine. And there was nothing done here to anybody.
Are you suggesting that the entire Trump vote was racist and by racists?
I think yes. I think it. I do.
The governor under pressure to resign for that racist image in his medical school yearbook. Then the lieutenant governor, who would serve next, is now facing an allegation of sexual assault. And tonight, what the attorney general has now admitted, revealing that he wore blackface once back in college.
A longtime actor and star on the hit TV show Empire tells police he's the victim of a brutal beating that took place on this Chicago street. Investigators say they're treating the reported attack as a possible hate crime.
The victim of a vicious, racist, and homophobic attack.
His attackers hurled racial and homophobic slurs.
Two people yelled racist and homophobic slurs.
Racial and homophobic slurs.
Not only homophobia, we're talking about racism. We're talking about hate with steroids.
They are looking for two suspects who were apparently wearing Make America Great Again hats.
The offenders uttered, "This is MAGA country."
Officials are investigating the alleged assault as a hate crime.
And now police say they're investigating this as a possible hate crime.
He said, "This MAGA country," punches me right in the face. So I punched his ass back. And then we started tussling. You know, it was very icy. Fighting. There was a second person involved who was kicking me in my back. And then it just stopped. And they ran off.
And above all, I fought the fuck back. I'm the King Tupac.
A law enforcement official telling ABC News two men questioned by police claim Smollett paid them to stage that attack.
I think, honestly, this story is getting a little bit too much attention.
Accusations within this phony attack received national attention for weeks. Celebrities, news commentators, and even presidential candidates weighed in on something that was choreographed by an actor.
Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi tweeting the racist, homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett is an affront to our humanity.
And Senator Cory Booker said the vicious attack on actor Jussie was an attempted modern-day lynching.
Kamala Harris calling the attack an attempted modern-day lynching.
Jussie Smollett, what about MAGA and the tens of millions of people you insulted with your racist and dangerous comments?
I think, look, the Jussie Smollett thing has a lot of holes in that story, for sure. I don't think this is the opportunity or the time for everybody to say, "Oh my gosh, so sorry, you guys." Who would ever think that of the MAGA crowd? Like, there's reason. There's where there's smoke, there's fire.
I still want to believe, with everything that has happened, that there's something called justice.
And this is America in 2019.
The 2020 presidential election is around the corner. Make the moral choice between love versus hate. Let's do the right thing.